Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is September 12, 2023 and we are getting into the volume 155 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, I'm gonna mention before beginning this video, as I mentioned in every video, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their Visa Bulletin. So let's start with the very first question comment from Grebe Vlogger 3525. Grebe, thank you so much for another question. Always appreciate them. So Grebe says, Salam, Walaikum Assalam. So sir, thanks for your kind answers to our questions. Question is that I want to change my embassy. Islamabad embassy take too long after documentarily qualified. They take around 1 year for IR1. So I am planning on changing my embassy. Abu Dhabi embassy is faster than Islamabad embassy. What's your thoughts about that? And one more question. My wife dealing alone with 2 kids beside work and she have financial problems as well. Can I expedite my case at NBC if I give them these reasons? Okay, so I'm gonna start with your second question, Grebe. 100% absolutely, you can definitely request the expedited processing because you are already documentarily qualified. You're already documentarily qualified and you are in immediate relative category. That means your immigrant visa is already available. So these are really the core requirements that are necessary for the expedited request to be valid. Now, whenever it comes to the reasoning, financial hardship is, yes, absolutely 100% is one of the good reasons. So I am thinking you have very high chances of expediting this case. So I would recommend doing it as soon as possible. There is actually an email. I do have a video on this channel. I don't remember right now. It's something that, expedited processing with NVC or how to request expedited processing with NVC. Sorry, it's something along those lines. But there is an email where you basically just, type it up, you send all the reasoning, make sure to introduce yourself, make sure to make it, a professional email, from, to, the reasons, identify your case, make sure that you say that you are already documentarily qualified, that it is immediate relative, and then you can attach a few documents here and there. It's not necessary, but it would be helpful. Might be some financial documents, some bank statements, might be birth certificates for your children, just showing that you have kids. Although again, NVC, they do have that information already, but still, just to make your case a little bit stronger. So you can definitely do that. I would recommend doing it as soon as possible. Now, whenever it comes to changing the embassy, I have not ever had anyone who had changed successfully the embassy. Whenever it comes to family reunification cases, it's different whenever it comes to visa and you see, you're applying for non-immigrant visa or something along those lines, where you yourself go and schedule an appointment with an embassy, and you go online, you see online system, it's busy, so you go to another embassy in a nearby country, and then you do the appointment there, and you go for an appointment there. But whenever it comes to family reunification cases, the difference is that it is, it's done, all is done for you. They schedule the interview for you. So I don't know if you will be able to do that. I would recommend asking. You can send a public inquiry to NVC and ask them that if it's possible to change the embassy, or maybe as part of your expedited request, you can ask them, if it is not possible to expedite your request, is it possible to at least change the embassies to something that is, where appointments are, available a little bit sooner than what they are in Islamabad. So that might be an option. Or what you can do is you can call the embassy in Islamabad and talk to them and say, hey guys, I understand you guys are busy, blah, 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 but this is kind of an emergency situation. And, I wanted to see if it's possible to, move my interview to another embassy where it can be a little bit sooner. So try that. But I would say number one priority as of right now is submitted expedited request, because in your situation, it's you have everything, you have everything met. You are documentarily qualified, you are immediate relative category, and you do have a valid reason to expedite. So I think that might actually work for you. And I know that in some situations, whenever your expedited request is approved, whenever they're dealing with the scheduling in the embassy, they actually, even if they don't have any available appointments, sometimes they work around and they try to accommodate people if they do have approved expedited requests. So I would do that as a priority and then, go from there. So let me post the response here and we're gonna move on to the next question from View LTD, thank you so much for being publicly subscribed. Really appreciate that. This is what this icon means right here. So View says, my case is IR2, so again, immediate relative category, and it is expedited. Congratulations, that's great. So it is expedited August 15, so just about a month ago, 2023, due to aging out. Now it's ready and currently at the embassy. Awesome. So 18/8, which is 3 days later, the embassy said to me, book an appointment, and if there is no available appointment, notify us, we will make one for you. Oh, I was just telling that to Grebe, about embassy making exceptions. Wow, it's like perfect timing. So I contacted them and told them there is no available appointment at the website, and I need interview date as ASAP. Still, till this day, there is no response and I don't have interview date. The deadline is 10th October before I am 18. What should I do? Okay, good question. So congratulations on being, successfully expedited. That's really good. I'm not sure why you're worrying about aging out, because aging out is for 21 and over, not 18. But, whatever the situation is, you're already expedited based on that reason, and that's good. So I wanted to ask you, how did you reach out to the U.S. Embassy? Because it sounds like you reached out through email because you're waiting for their response. But in this situation, I would definitely recommend actually calling them, especially because they told you themselves that they will make it work. So give them a call and say, hey guys, my expedited request was approved. I have expedited processing, and I tried to schedule the appointment online to as soon as possible because my deadline is October 10. Explain all of the situation and then see if they can schedule an appointment for you over the phone. I'm not sure. Maybe you try to do it over the phone and maybe they said they will call you back. But again, it's been since almost a month. Almost a whole month it's been, and it's definitely not very good that they are dragging it so long. Also, as part of the to help yourself, just to be on the safe side, I would also recommend submitting a public inquiry with the NVC and letting them know the situation. Explain exactly the same thing. Say that, hey, embassy reached out. They said that they will help me and schedule as soon as possible, but it's been almost a month and they still didn't schedule me. And I have expedited processing. Please help me with that. So I would do that, public inquiry with NVC, and I would also call the U.S. Embassy and, press them a little bit more. Say, hey, expedited processing. I have less than a month left. Please, I need this interview as soon as possible. And then once you do that, please come back to this channel, and I'm sure a lot of people will be interested to hear an update from you on the situation. So good luck with that, and like I said, I personally will definitely be waiting for an update from you because I really want to know what's going on. And for everyone, if you're posting an update, if you have any follow-up comments, questions, just make sure you don't post them under my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not send me those notifications. Just submit them as a separate comment under any of the videos. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Comment from Salvador Go 3440. My stepdaughters were documentarily qualified for 2 years, but still no scheduled interview. Any advice, please? So Salvador, thanks so much for your comment. So let me know which family preference category your daughters are in, because here's the thing. If most likely what it sounds like, if they haven't been for 2 years since still no interview and they're already documentarily qualified for 2 years, it sounds like they're in one of the family preference categories that does have to deal with the backlog and does have to deal with the Visa Bulletin, not immediate relative category. So that might be, they might be over 21, they might be married, you might be yourself, a permanent resident and not a U.S. citizen. So let me know the situation, exactly what's going on, so I could take a look at the Visa Bulletin and let you know approximately how long it's going. You're going to wait. On the plus side, once you're documentarily qualified, usually NVC, they documentarily qualify a beneficiary very close to the availability of the immigrant visa. And I mean, 2 years is not very close, but compared to the how long people wait in family preference categories, 2 years, it doesn't sound too terrible, compared to 10, 15 years that people are waiting. And 2.5 years, it is pretty normal to wait for people in family preference categories, in one of the 4 family preference categories. Well, in your situation, it's going to be one of the 3 family preference categories, because obviously you said it's your stepdaughters. But like I said, please do come back. Let me know which family preference category they are in. If you don't know, just let me know what your status is. Are you a permanent resident or are you a U.S. citizen? And then your stepdaughters, are they over 21? Are they married? And then the priority dates, that would be helpful, and also the chargeability area. And I will take a look at the Visa Bulletin and I'll be able to give you rough estimates of how long approximately to wait more. Okay, so let me post the response here and we're gonna move on to the next question from Denise to 4. Denise, thanks again for another question, as always. This icon right here means Denise is one of the top commenters on this channel. So Denise says, "Hi sir, is there no upcoming new Visa Bulletin this month?" It should be literally any day now, and I keep checking. Visa Bulletin, see, coming soon. Right now we have September, but literally any day now we're gonna have October 2023. So as soon as it comes up, I'll make a video, but I'm thinking couple more days, literally couple more days, and we're gonna have that. Okay, moving further to Masood Khan. Masood, thanks so much for another comment. So Masood says, "Brother, my new question for you is, I have seen some other videos. I don't know from where they're getting information regarding interviews, letters. However, according to them, IR categories, those who documentarily qualify in October, November, December 2021, okay, so like almost 2 years ago, they are getting letters this month, September 2023, and early October dates. So my question is, those who documentarily qualified in IR category, they are getting letters after 18 or 20 month time. So in my case, my documentarily qualified is September 2022. So I should expect interview letter somewhere in April or May 2024. Please advise." So Masood, whenever it comes to it's really different for everybody, for the most part, whenever it comes to petitions, especially in immediate relative category that have been already documentarily qualified, because I have seen from this channel, besides my my personal cases and cases of my friends, just from this channel, I've seen people getting these interviews scheduled as soon as like 4 months after becoming documentarily qualified in immediate relative category, as soon as 4 months. And some people, most of the times it's about 6 months. But yes, I have seen people wait a year. I have seen people wait now close to 2 years. So it's really hard to tell. But whenever it comes to 18, 20 months, I would say that would be like the top, like the latest of waiting in immediate relative category for those who are already documentarily qualified and done with everything. So I would say that would be like the longest wait. So what I'm trying to say is that I would say the latest, yes, around April, May 2024 for you. That sounds possible, definitely. But I would not be surprised, honestly, if you get it earlier, because really at this point, we are just talking about the scheduling at the U.S. Embassy. Most likely your interview is already scheduled. and you're really just waiting to be notified for when that interview was scheduled. And the only reason you are not notified, just like most people, is because, well, they can only announce it like 60 days, 30 days before the actual, most of the times it's 30 days, but sometimes I see that it's 60 days before the actual interview date. So yeah, I think that's a correct estimate. That's definitely sounds reasonable, but I would say that's like the latest. So latest April, May 2024 sounds reasonable, but it's very possible that it might be earlier than that. Okay, let's move on to the next question from H Digitally GV3PO. Hello sir, I got my visa interview date. Congratulations. I am curious about what kind of questions they ask on interview for FTJ. Okay, so follow to join I-730 visa. So congratulations. I'm really happy to hear that you finally got your interview date. So whenever it comes to really, I-130, I-730 is going to be very, very similar. And for the most part, really, it's the questions that establish the relationship, depending on obviously who the relatives are. But if it is spouses, that's really where most of the times you expect kind of like a tricky questions. But again, if it's if it's a real marriage, if it's a legit marriage, then it's not going to be a problem whatsoever. But yes, just the questions establishing the relationship, making sure that it is a real marriage. Obviously, whenever it comes to kids, or if it's, well, in your situations it's I-730, so it's not parents, it's kids and spouse. Whenever it comes to kids, then it's no problem at all. Then it's just asking for birth certificate and stuff like this. You might expect questions like something that is intended for the immigration. So questions like, so where are you going? Which state are you going to be living in? What are you going to be doing there? Do you have any plans for what kind of work you're going to be doing there? What kind of work your spouse, your husband, your wife that is petitioning for you, follow to join, that is submitting your follow to join petition for you. What kind of work are they doing? How did they immigrate to the United States of America? Stuff like this. It's very, very basic. And honestly, most of these questions, they only can create a problem for someone that doesn't have like good intentions. That is like, fictitious marriage and stuff like this, because people do that. Unfortunately, people do that. And that's the kind of, scenarios where people experience problems with these questions. But if it's legit, everything's legit, then really there's nothing to worry about, especially whenever it comes to follow to join, I-130 family reunification petitions. It's very straightforward. Really, they're just re-verifying some of the documents that have been provided as part of the documentary qualification with the NVC, and then just some basic questions to establish like the understanding of the process of what's going on. Like, yeah, I do know that I am intending to immigrate to the United States of America. I do know approximately what I think we'll be doing. I do have plans. I do know where I'm going to be living, and really stuff like this. So that's the kind of stuff I would discuss with your beneficiary. Obviously the documents, all of the documents, definitely make sure that your beneficiary has everything whenever they go. And in this situation, it sounds like you are the beneficiary, so make sure you have all of the documents that have been submitted to the NVC for documentary qualification. If there was any major updates along the way after you were documentarily qualified, and major updates on change of address, maybe change of name, or maybe financial, some kind of documents. I don't think you were providing much of the financial. Maybe you do, but if there were any major changes, career changes, for example, or something along those lines, especially in stuff that was submitted to the NVC, bring them in a separate document folder as well, just in case. If the questions comes up, you have that and you can show it to them. But for the most part, there's really nothing to worry about. I would say, congratulations, really. So this is really the final step. You go there, you get that immigrant visa, and once you do, please come back to this channel and let everyone know that you got it and you're immigrating. Congratulations. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Today is some good news on this channel. I really enjoy to read the good news. From Kaura7418, hello sir, I am spouse of green card holder F2A category, priority date October 21, and documentarily qualified April 2023, when I expect my interview in Mumbai Embassy. So Kaura, congratulations on becoming documentarily qualified. Definitely huge step. So it's just recent, so it was April, so we are September, so it's like April, May, June, July, August, so roughly like 4 or 5 months you got documentarily qualified. So let's take a look at the graph A for the F2A. So Mumbai Embassy, I'm pretty sure that's India. So India in all chargeability, they're the same. It's January 2018. So as of right now, F2A, the immigrant visa is becoming available for people with priority date in January 2018. So your priority date is in October 21. So you do have a little bit of time to wait as of right now, about 2.5, about 3 years before the availability of the immigrant visa. So you still have some time to wait before the interview. But I gotta let you know that we did see some retrogressing on the F2A. So we might actually see some building up back again and catching up to the existing stuff, because it retrogressed quite a lot. F2A in the past few months, it retrogressed quite a lot. So we might see some positive movement in the next few months. Hopefully, again, I always say that we might see the positive movement, but it just keeps getting worse. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with the Visa Bulletin, but the best thing to do is for you, I think if you have never used Visa Bulletin before, I think you might have, because everybody who's dealing with I-130, they should be on top of the Visa Bulletin. But that right now is the time for you to definitely stay on top of the Visa Bulletin. And we're gonna see, like I said in response to Dennis earlier, we should see the brand new Visa Bulletin for October 2023 coming out in the literally next few days. So once it comes out, I will make the video on this channel talking about what changed from September to October. So make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet to this channel, and hopefully we will see some positive movement. But as of right now, you are still looking at some time to wait before the availability of the immigrant visa. Okay, so let me post the response here, and we're gonna move on to the next question from Gugameteshashvili 1331. Applause for the content you create. Thank you, appreciate that. Very informative and official, source-based. Appreciate it. I appreciate your effort and would like to get a paid consultation worth you. If you accept it, can I have your contact first? I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I don't provide any kind of consultation, any kind of services outside of this channel, and even on this channel. This is not services, because it's free. It's free immigration help. So if you do have any kind of questions, just post them in the comments, just like this under any of the videos, and it will come up just like that on this wall, and I will be able to answer it in one of the next volumes. But I'm sorry, I don't provide any kind of consultation outside of this channel, unfortunately. And really, unfortunately or fortunately, it depends on how you look at it, because if I do start providing consultations and whatever, it means I would have to, well, first of all, I'd have to charge money, first of all. But the worst part about it is not even that. Is that I now will be bound by the regulations, by the whatever. I'd have to have some kind of license. I would have, it's limitation on my part. Right now I can show you things. I can give you examples. I can give you show you an NVC, portal of somebody and be like, well, there you go. And maybe maybe technically I would not be allowed to do that, but because it's a free, it's free. Yeah, I'm not doing anything legal. It's not a legal consultation. It's not a legal advice. So it's technically free. So I'm not restricted, and that's good. That's really good. I'd like to keep it this way. Okay, let's move on to the next question coming from user LI6NS. Anyone here got approved? Even the 2 years meeting prior application wasn't met. Anyone here got approved even the 2 years meeting prior application wasn't met? Okay, so user, I definitely gonna need some clarification on this question. Hopefully somebody answers and maybe somebody will understand. I'll just leave it like that. I'm gonna do that, and please clarify. I'm just typing. Please clarify your question, and if you can, please clarify it in a separate comment. Don't respond to my comment when a separate. And in fact, let me do that. Please clarify your question in a separate comment. Thank you. There you go. Because I don't think I understand what you mean. Okay, moving on to DJ Osty Joes 3457. Hello, bro. Priority date 12/02/2019. Documentarily qualified. January 17, 2023. Congratulations. Any idea of interview date? Section wife of permanent resident. Okay, so wife of permanent resident, that would be a F2A category. So F2A category, as we were just talking about, it is in January 2018. So your priority date is 2019, December. Wait, is it December? No. So it's either December 02 or is it February 12th? Whichever one. December and February. Yeah, it's kind of a big difference, pretty much a whole year. But you are in 2019. Right now, the priority date that's, they are getting their immigrant visas are in January 2018. So if you are December 2019, we are January 2018, so you are really, really close. You are, let's see, December 2019. That's the end of the December, and so you're about a year. Sorry, honestly, my math is horrible, so maybe I shouldn't even try. So you do the math yourself. Right now, the priority dates that are becoming current are in January 2018. Okay, so how far are you from that priority date? How far your priority date from that priority date is the amount of time that you are roughly looking at that you will be waiting before the availability of the immigrant visa. Once the immigrant visa is available, once your priority date becomes current, then you are, just waiting for some administrative processing for, the interview to be scheduled. So there is still a little bit of time, regardless, with the administrative processing. But, you're already documentarily qualified as of like 8 months. Most of the times to wait in the F2A category, some people, wait close to 2 years. But you are pretty close to the, to the current priority date. So again, for you, it's very important to stay on top of the Visa Bulletin. Again, the brand new Visa Bulletin should be coming out literally in the next few days. We will see what updates, what's going to happen. But if you want, let me know. Let's see. You do say it. So it might be February 12th, 2019. It might be December 2019. If it's February 2019, you are about a year away. If it's December 2019, you're about 2 years away. So I think you should be, roughly getting an idea of how long you will be waiting. Okay, let's move on to probably our last question for today from Osikwe Rachel 1021. I was asked by the NVC to resubmit my international passport 3 weeks ago because the one I sent earlier wasn't clear enough. This is the 4th week and I still haven't gotten any feedback from NVC, and it's really disturbing. Don't worry about that. I'm sorry you have to deal with this. Trust me, most people have to resubmit stuff with NVC. It is very rare that somebody submits and from the first submission, NVC accepts everything and you're documentarily qualified. I would say if that happens to you, whoever, if you're watching and that happened to you, consider yourself lucky. Most people submit stuff and then it comes back and they say, oh, please do this, please do that, please do this. Whole bunch of things they like redo. So don't be too stressed out. Here's the thing. Whenever it comes to submission, let's see, 3 weeks ago. So it's been 3 weeks ago. Most of the times, And I know it's kind of sucks, but most of the time it's about 3 months that you are waiting on the resubmission to be reviewed once again. Most of the times. So don't be stressed out too much. There is still, just make sure that everything that you have resubmitted is exactly as they ask. It's clear, it's in the format that they ask, the stuff that they ask you have submitted. As long as you've met that, it should be good. But in most of the cases, the resubmissions, they are reviewed within about 3 months. So there is still some time. Don't be stressed out too much about it. It kind of sucks a little bit, especially if you're in immediate relative category, because you know that the immigrant visa is already available and the only thing delaying the situation is documentary qualification. But it's not so bad when you are in one of the family preference categories and you know that you're still going to be waiting for the backlog, you're still waiting on the Visa Bulletin, your priority is still not current, so it doesn't really matter. So if that helps, if you're in one of the family preference categories, then that should be a little bit of encouragement. But once you do hear back from the NVC, please do come back to this channel and let us know the update on what's going on. So thank you so much everyone for tuning in today, for all your comments, always appreciated. Like I said, if you do have any follow-up comments, questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. Just make sure don't post them under my comment, within your comment, because YouTube does not send me those notifications for whatever reason. So thanks again for your time. Appreciate you all. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.